All right, and all right, I'm feeling pretty good. Let me get a mic check.
Check.
Oh, beautiful. And we are back again with Around the Post, the ATP podcast. Got my boy Mark Figueroa, aka Fig GPT. Your boy Jay is here. And this is not a full-length episode, so I don't have to number it. This is a moment in history we had to stop and record for. How are you feeling? Where's your heads at?
Yeah, as you stated, spot in history, and it was a must for sure.
Yeah. This episode will be on YouTube. I will eventually get it also on Spotify and all places where maybe you listen with just audio, or maybe you watch video on Spotify or something like that. But the top priority for this one was going to be YouTube, so it'll be out today on YouTube, or it'll be out at least by the time you see this. But there's obviously a lot to dig into here. This is a long piece of content, so where do we start? Like, obviously, Djokovic won the Olympics.
Yes, he won the Olympics, and by now, for sure, he's the GOAT of GOATs. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the only thing holding him back would be the Grand Slam, a calendar Grand Slam, but Federer nor Nadal did it.
Yeah.
So he's definitely the GOAT of GOATs for sure. Mm-hmm. So we're going to start with the match. So it was a very intense match. This is the best he's played in a while.
Yeah.
That is for sure. This reminded me of the Cincinnati Masters final with Alcaraz. It was that rough and tactical.
Yeah.
It was a lot of positioning, and there was no room for error in this match. Mm-hmm. I noticed that Novak definitely flattened his forehand a lot. Mm-hmm. He went for a lot of winners when it needed to be. Mm-hmm. His cross-court forehand was on point. Mm-hmm. His return to serve was sharp. What I did see is that Alcaraz made a tactical mistake that he did not make at Wimbledon, which was the return of serve. Mm-hmm. Now, at Wimbledon, he stood almost close to the baseline returning Djokovic's serve. Mm-hmm. At Roland Garros at the Olympics, he stood 10 feet back a la Nadal.
Yeah.
What did you think of that tactic?
I really was confused by, we know the phrase, if it's not broken, don't fix it. To come into this match and make adjustments that were probably working for him in the other matches on his way to this final at the Olympics. I think that you still got to recalibrate and go into this match knowing what worked for you last time. And it's tricky. You can get in your own head a little bit. Let's keep in mind, he just beat Djokovic, but he knows Djokovic is not going to bring the same game in the same level as the last time they played. So maybe there's a little bit of overthinking involved or overconfidence in his return.
Yes, I would have liked for him to step at the baseline and just slice the return as he did at Wimbledon, bringing him in and forcing him to hit a cross-court shot when he is a mid-court ball, and then hit a passing shot. Yeah. That worked perfectly at Wimbledon. Mm-hmm. Now, I understand that it's a difference in surface, but the ball wasn't going to rise up either on a slice return.
Yeah.
So I was really confused on that tactic. Mm-hmm. He decided to, again, a la Nadal, stand 10 feet back and try to just rip forehands. Yeah. The problem with that is that if he hits flat, it's going to land short. Mm-hmm. And if he hits top, he really needs to hit it deep in order for the ball to do anything.
Yeah.
And Djokovic placed the ball really well.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this was a match of extremely narrow margins. So even when we say there's a tactical mistake on Alcaraz's part, it went to tiebreak 2 sets consecutively, So we're talking about extremely narrow margins. And we're really here discussing what small decisions could have been the differential. I think that Alcaraz came at a very high level. I think he played great tennis. And I do somewhat agree with you that I think standing super far back on the return when playing Djokovic on clay, I don't really agree with it. I don't see I'd understand if it was like Nick Kyrgios or someone whose serve you need help neutralizing. I don't think Alcaraz struggles that much getting balls in play against Djokovic.
Right.
So I don't know why he was giving himself so much cushion, because every few steps you take back, the less offense you get to start off with when you're returning, and it just puts you at a disadvantage, in my opinion, and he needed to add more pressure to Djokovic, and he needed to find more ways to break serve.
Right, and you just nailed it. It's not as if he's playing Kyrgios and Djokovic's serve is monster, such as that. So that was definitely the wrong tactic, and it really showed in that game at 3-4, and it was a 16-minute game, and he kept getting the the deuce point, but couldn't get the ad point.
Yeah.
And again, by him standing so far back, Djokovic also has the time to come in and volley a lot, and he gave away the out wide serve on deuce side, and that was very crucial in the tiebreak.
Yeah.
So to me, that was a big flaw in this game for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I would even word it as a flaw as so much as you're giving a little real estate in the psychological war, right? When Djokovic is serving, is Djokovic thinking I'm about to ace this guy? No, but Djokovic is going. The service box looks bigger when your opponent is further back, right? You feel less pressure to get past them.
Right.
So I think Djokovic I'd even go as far as saying, and I don't have proof of this, but his first serve percentage probably increased when his opponent is further back in the box or on the court, because you feel less pressure to hit spots.
Yes.
So I think that he also gave Djokovic an opportunity to breathe mentally that he shouldn't have. Alcaraz his reputation precedes him when people talk about how much pressure he puts on you, but he's actually taken a little bit off when he does that against these players. So, it's interesting to see. Obviously, we saw what he did to Ali Asim the round before, and I think he was riding that wave. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's very possible, and it showed in the tiebreak as well when he couldn't make a decent return, and now he's on the defensive, and you can see once he lost that set, the first set, he put his hands on his head. He wanted to throw his racket. He held it in. So, yeah, I mean, that was just a mistake. So, what do you think? Do you think that chipping the return on clay, would that have worked?
I think it would have been a step in the right direction. I mean, for me personally, I would have loved for him to use that first set as an opportunity to see if he can stay closer to the baseline and still consistently return the same way. That's where I would start. Topspin or slice. Just start there. That way you have an opportunity to be a little tighter on the baseline, give Djokovic less reaction time when you hit your return, and then just go from there. Obviously you got to make adjustments. If you're struggling to get over the top of the ball in that clay, slice it. If you want to try to bring Novak forward and give him less room for, maneuvering with the ball, maybe that chip will work if it stays low.
Yes.
But, I think it just simply starts for me with not being so far back, because you're going against the greatest returner in the world. Don't make him also feel like the greatest server in the world.
Right.
Because you're losing a psychological edge there. So I think Djokovic goes in knowing he's the lesser of physical athletes. He's not as mobile right now. He's not as powerful right now. Alcaraz has those edges. So I feel like in order to really enforce those edges, you have to be tighter on the baseline. You have to assert yourself.
Yes.
We saw Federer do it countless times. And I think Alcaraz can use some of those old tactics from Federer in these type of matches.
Yes, and he was 0 for 8. And that's just not going to cut it.
Yeah.
And I did read comments that were saying, Alcaraz didn't serve as big. Well, on clay, a big serve isn't going to penetrate so much. But he was serving his spots, and he was still using the tactic that he was using at Wimbledon, which is trying to go more to Djokovic's body, so he can try to get that short reply. So that wasn't really the problem as his return position was to me.
I agree.
Yes, and then lastly, again, it was all about position tennis. Djokovic would hit a ball and would position himself. He would already know where he's going. And he was playing the odds, and I don't know, maybe his analytics team did something, because he pretty much knew where Alcaraz was going to go.
Yeah.
He played the percentage tennis, and it was brilliant.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, it's the best tennis we've seen from Novak this year, by far. And it's a picture-perfect ending for him. You know, I think I said this on last episode. Like, you can leave tennis now, and no one would blink an eye. Like, no one would be upset or mad. And we'd go, you've done everything there is to do. You've won everything there is to win. You don't have any of your long-standing rivals still active. If he left now, I would understand. I know he's not going to, and this is a man who loves the sport. But this is a truly incredible and impressive feat. And I love that he had to face adversity in order to get it. Because it just adds more to the story and narrative. Novak did this without a coach.
Yeah.
Novak did this off a bad knee. Novak did this off of losing to this same guy a few days ago, a few weeks ago. But there's a lot of psychological reasons for him to go into this and not believe, and he came in and won. So that's mind-blowing to me.
Yes, exactly. And just a couple quick stats. In 2008, he had the bronze medal. In 2012 in London, he came in 4th place. 2016 in Rio, he lost in the first round. So, yeah, and then in Tokyo, 4th place. As you know, that's where he threw his racket in the crowd. But there was no crowd because of COVID.
Yeah.
So this was huge for him. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, there's just, to me, I think that the amount that was on his shoulders is underestimated. He's got his kids watching, and I know Djokovic in particular feels more when his kids are at the matches watching him. This is his last chance at an Olympic gold, in my opinion. He's dealing with the knee injury. It's another one. He's dealing with a bad season, his worst season since I don't even know what year, 2000 something. He hasn't had a season like this. I can't remember the last time.
Yeah, it was 2005 that he went into August without a title.
Yeah. And on top of all of that, he's got to go into the final against the one guy on the tour who's been giving him real problems.
Yes.
The guy that he's openly said is the best player on the planet right now. And with all those things against him, he found a way and made it happen. You've got to just really look at this guy as the GOAT.
Yes. Yes.
You have to,
And he joined some elite group here. He joined the group. The players to complete the singles career grand Golden Slam.
Yeah, which is winning all 4 slams and a gold.
And a gold.
Yeah.
So obviously he did it. Serena, Nadal, Andre, and Steffi had the Golden Slam. So she won the gold medal and all 4 in 1 year.
Crazy.
That's impressive right there. And then he also joined a selective group with Andre Agassi to win the 4 slams, the gold, and the tour final.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So that's very impressive. But the last comment was, he said, maybe you're wrong, he said, I want to play in LA if possible. He will be 41 years old.
Whew.
Now, just to throw some possibility in there.
Yeah.
Connors in 91 was 39, coming off of a knee surgery. And he made it to the semifinals. He turned 39 at the U.S. Open, lost to a very hungry Jim Courier, who is now announcing for Tennis Channel.
Yeah.
Maybe it's possible? What do you think?
I think it's 100% possible. I just don't think he'll be truly in contention for a gold medal. We'll be talking about a more savvy and mature Carlos Alcaraz. We'll be talking about hopefully a healthy Jannik Sinner. And that's not to forget all the other guys who will probably have much more confidence going into these events and knowing Djokovic is peaked and that they've seen the worst of him. So, and let's also keep in mind, this is where Djokovic doesn't perform the best historically.
Yeah.
So a lot of chips stacked against him to show up again at 41 and won another gold medal. But I 100% do agree and believe if he's on the tour, he'll be there. Who's going to take his spot in Serbia?
Yeah, that's true.
And hopefully by then he'll be in a more leisurely position. Maybe we see him playing doubles with someone, some up-and-coming guy that he's helping pass the torch to. And then he just comes out and does singles similar to Nadal this year. and we get to see a very similar thing there, and he gets put away by some new future GOAT.
Yeah.
Just like Nadal, right?
Yes.
But that would be my guess. I do think he's a master at recovery. He's a master of health. I'm not going to be surprised if he's still on the tour 4 years from now. I just really would be surprised if he is still a top 3 player in 4 years.
Now, it will be in LA indoors, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be way too hot to have it at Indian Wells.
Yeah.
So, could he compete on a potential hard court indoor?
Historically speaking, yes. He's an excellent indoor hard court player, but there are some killers on the tour indoor hard court. So it won't be easy doing best out of 3 indoor hard court, but this is a guy who has dominated the World Tour Finals before. And in my opinion, I like his odds on any surface.
Yeah.
I think he's underrated as far as his ability to be the best on every surface. So, yeah, I really like that it's indoor hard court.
Okay. Well, that's fair then. And at the moment when he won the gold, Serbia only had 2 gold medals. His was the second gold medal.
Whew.
So, yeah, he'll definitely have a spot in Serbia at the age of 41 for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
if he wants it.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
I think that's everything. Let me double check real fast.
All right.
I might have a little bit of data for you. I can't remember.
Okay.
I usually store it all in my phone.
We may lose a subscriber.
Let's see. No, this is going to be for our full length episode, so we're good.
All right.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it on this snippet.
All right.
But that is this snippet about Novak Djokovic. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. If you love us, hate us, you're unsubscribing or subscribing, let us know. We love all the news. And if you're on Apple or Spotify, we do accept emails. If you have questions, you want feedback, or you want to just engage with us on air. And we also allow comments on Spotify. So shout us out, ask us questions. If they want us to analyze a match from the past, from the future, if you want us to tell you what happened, why it happened, how it happened. We don't usually do super analytical stuff anymore, but we love to do it. We're just, we're trying to get clicks. I'm not gonna lie to you. So if you do want us to dig into something, we would be more than happy to tell you what happened in a match. Or if you just have some feedback, let us know. Outside of that, ATP.